Hey everybody, am I live? Am I live? Yes, I'm live. All right. Hey, it's Joe with Joe Knows Cryptos doing a crypto video update here on Sunday, May 19th, 2019. My voice is a little bit raspy today. I went to one of my friend's birthday parties and he had a huge party with a live band and kegs and you name it. It was just a good old time and I was singing and rocking out and my voice is a little raspy today. Hey, Litecoin Perosi. Hey, how you doing? Good afternoon. I don't really expect there to be too many people on this live broadcast here since I just kind of don't give any warning on them. I just kind of come on here when I have some time. But all right. And hey, Charles. Hey, what's up, brother? Thanks everybody for tuning in. Um, so I wanted to. I'm going to give some Litecoin and Bitcoin predictions a little bit later on in the video. I don't plan on this being a very long video, but I did want to get on here since I haven't been on here in a few days. Um, Bitcoin jumps scare you, Joe. Being all in on Litecoin. I do still have a little bit of Bitcoin. I didn't sell totally out. I sold about 50% of it a few months ago, which I'm glad I did. It was before Litecoin made its big run. And then just the other day, I sold about 80% of what I had left. So I still have a tiny sliver of Bitcoin. I also sold almost all of my other altcoins, and I'm just going into the. I put my money into the. Yeah, I don't really even consider them altcoins. I know they call an altcoin anything that's not Bitcoin. It's an alternative to Bitcoin, but I really consider anything in the top five. To really not be an altcoin. To me, they don't seem to carry as much risk as what I would consider an altcoin to carry. They seem to be cryptos that are a little more stable. Um, that have a lot of money behind them, a lot of partnerships, what have you. Cryptos that I don't think are as risky as what I would consider an altcoin. An altcoin to me is something that you're buying purely on speculation, hoping. No, they may not even have a working product yet. You're just hoping that it will one day. So I sold pretty much all of my altcoins except for a few. I think I'm down to about maybe I think I have five or six cryptos right now. Um, so I went pretty much all in Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. That's basically what I have. Number one holding is Litecoin by far. And then I have about equal Bitcoin, Ethereum. And then, like I said, I have a few other little altcoins sprinkled in there. I just think that right now, if the major Fidelities and Backs and TD, Ameritrade, and all these start going live with exchanges, that they're not going to have all those little altcoins on their exchanges. They're going to have the top 10 coins, if that. They might only have the top five. Um, so that's where I put my money into because when the general public starts to flood their money into this market, those are the ones they're going to go into. They're going to go into the ones that they can buy easily right on exchanges. And that's going to be your Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. I'm not a big Bitcoin Cash proponent, but that's going to be one of them as well. Um, Possibly EOS. I'm not a big EOS fan either. Um, uh, XRP. You guys know how I feel about XRP with all the other cryptos out there. Why put it into a banker's coin? But hey, that's what makes the world great, America great, and crypto great. Is you're free to put your money wherever you want to. That's just my personal opinion on it. Hey everybody who's logged in here, appreciate it. It's really just a spur of the moment type of thing. So I want to just talk about a few things here. One is the perfect storm that we have brewing for cryptocurrencies, mainly your top cryptos, not your altcoins. But you've got I think it's 4 or 5 countries where Bitcoin use is at its all-time high. And these are countries that are having a lot of financial troubles that we've talked about in the past. Your Greece's, um, your Venezuela's, your I think Peru. There's about 5 or 6 countries, a couple countries in Africa, where Bitcoin use is nearing all-time highs or hitting and surpassing all-time highs. So that's the first thing you got going on. Now, never mind those countries where your cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero, these types of coins are hitting all-time high uses. Um, you also have almost every country um, where their dollar is just losing value, decreasing in value, decreasing in value. So, when you go to this into the store one week and you can buy a loaf of bread for $3, and you go in the next week and the same loaf of bread costs $5, and you go in the store the week after that and the same loaf of bread costs $10, you start to realize that your money's not going to, it's not buying as much, and pretty soon you're not going to be able to afford to even eat, you know? So, basically, you have to put your money into something that's going to at least keep up with inflation, that's going to store its value and keep up with the price of the raising cost of everything else that you need to live. And, you know, this is hitting home first with these countries like Venezuela, where their currencies are totally devalued. They're not worth anything. I mean, people are making purses and pocketbooks out of money. They're folding them and putting them together and making a pocketbook to hold what in. Not any Venezuelan money, that's for sure. But I just think it's funny, you just see the streets littered with money because it's not even worth picking up at this point. It's more work to pick it up than it's even valued at. So, and now this is happening in more and more countries. This is a worldwide. I say it's a perfect storm. It's not just a few countries where this is going on. This is happening worldwide. And now in America, they just announced that they're going to just be printing money without any real caps to it. They call it quantitative easing. We've had quantitative easing one, two, and three. Quantitative easing is an injection of money into um, society to get things moving. Because things are slowing down, and you want to be able to loan more, and interest rates are already so low. You can't really raise interest, and you can't raise interest rates either, because we're kind of teetering on this. The guy who's in the circus who rides across the wire on the bicycle, balancing the thing, just trying to stay on that wire. So if you raise interest rates too much, you're going to fall off one way. But the other option is printing too much money, and though it takes a little longer to fall, eventually you're going to fall off the wire that way as well. It's just the nature of the beast, um, with the type of currency that is constantly inflationary. It's going to get to the point in America where it's just like I said, a loaf of bread is going to cost you $20. Um, and people are going to be looking for that escape, the place to put their money where it's going to hold its value. So that is one thing that's going on. That's like a perfect storm. Okay. Sorry if you lost me there for a second. The only other thing I want to talk about, I always go on to the main news channels and see what they're talking about as far as their financial pages. Again, went on Yahoo Finance, and Bitcoin again making its move back up to $8,000. Was down about $1,000. Boom, right back. The last story they have on Bitcoin is from 2 days ago. Nothing about the recovery, the thousand, back up to 8,000. It's the top story is, you can go on Yahoo Finance right now and look it up if you don't believe me. But it's about maybe 7, 8 stories down, and it says Bitcoin loses, over blah blah blah, $100 million in one day on a 1,000 point loss. You know, it's like they're intentionally not putting out the good news, only the bad news. They're trying to keep people, retail people like you and I, that still are on the outside, that don't know much about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. They're trying to keep them out of it, because if they keep saying, "Hey, Bitcoin," if their headline was, um, "Bitcoin hit a yearly high of over 8,000, and then briefly dropped for a day and a half, and then shot right back up to 8,000, shows consumer confidence in Bitcoin," something like that. That would be something that would get people more interested in Bitcoin. But instead, they leave this old article back from when it went down. So I'll be interested to see what they have in their news tomorrow. But we've got countries using it more. We've got countries, dollars losing value. Um, and I was interested to see the country that uses cryptocurrencies. I think it was third or fourth most is China, and cryptocurrencies are banned in China. That just shows that you can't stop cryptocurrencies because it's not centralized, it's decentralized. As long as people have access to the internet, they have access to cryptocurrencies. So in China, they can fine people, threaten them with whatever they want, but the people are still using it and still purchasing it because they know they're in a communist country, and that may be their only safe haven one day if they're ever to get out of that country where they can actually have some currency. I'm going to just take a brief minute here and just go over your comments and see if there's anything anybody's talking about. Hit that like, yes, please hit the like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and share if you get a chance. Because sharing is important because sharing, especially with people who are not in cryptocurrencies. I've done videos where I've walked around my neighborhood and asked people if they ever heard of Bitcoin. You'd be surprised how many people do not know what they missed out on. They have no idea what a Bitcoin is. And if they do, they've heard of it, but have no idea how to buy it, have no interest. And they're going to miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. They say in everybody's lifetime, you have about three chances to really hit it big. I believe Bitcoin is one of the opportunities of a lifetime. Not just Bitcoin, but Litecoin, and any of the top cryptocurrencies. And there are going to be some alts that will also really reap the benefits. A lot of those are just too early to determine which ones will be successful yet. Again, excuse my voice. I probably should have a glass of water here with me, but it's at a big party, birthday party yesterday, and I was singing at the top of my lungs, so voice is a little raspy. Pyoka 321, yo yo yo, hey y'all, what's up? High five, everybody, hands up. Hey Joe, hey Aztec. Um, yeah, 60 Minutes will air tonight of TV on Bitcoin. Yeah, I did hear that Bitcoin's going to do an episode on Bitcoin, and they're going to have somebody on there who's um, you know, positive on Bitcoin. I don't know if they're what kind of coverage you're going to give, if they're going to give negative spin to it, positive spin, or both. Hopefully, they just do a fair, objective um, opinion of it and don't try to skew it one way or the other. I haven't watched 60 Minutes in forever. I try not to watch mainstream news, even though it's really not considered news. They still do cover stories that could be considered news, just because they all lie so damn much. They're all so controlled. um, you know, you can go on YouTube and look up videos where um, nationwide, and not even nationwide, even in other countries that we're friendly with, where they'll have the same talking point and the people will write the article, the exact same article, the exact same words in it. They'll be on the news saying the exact same sentence. They're all given these talking points. These aren't reporters that go out and talk to people and find out the scoop on their own and then report back to, you know, the head of the newspaper or the news organization, and they say, let's run with that story. Like you used to see in the old Superman or Spider-Man, where the reporters were out there trying to get the scoop. And you don't see that anymore. The scoop is now the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, the elites, the people that want to control us. Tell their people, or they have their little minions underneath them, and they tell them the talking points and what they want to stress. And these are things that they all talk about in their Bilderberg meetings, and you know what they want society to be molded as. Say, this is the narrative we're going to push, and this is the article. This is what we want you to talk about today. And then that gets sent to every news organization, because remember, they own 90% of all news, all propaganda, all media. And then they say, okay, here it is, and here's they give it to the reporter. Okay, blah 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 for CNN, for MSNBC, for blah for you, and see NBC, CBS, ABC, even radio. It doesn't matter. They own 90% of everything, and then they all go out and they read the same headline. Let's put the same spin on the same story to get all America focused in on them and hypnotized. And that's why they say people are sheep. And people aren't intentionally sheep. People are sheep because we tend to believe what people who are dressed up in a fancy suit and on a screen in front of us say. And it's a shame. But yeah, 60 Minutes is going to do a thing on Bitcoin. And I hope, like I said, they are fair on what they do. While everyone is watching, Bitcoin Litecoin will be bought up by the OG Bitcoin whales. No one ever puts their money in one stack with cryptos. It's no different. Yeah. Um, so right. So I've said this in videos like about 6 months ago. Um, One of the things I worry about there being so many different cryptocurrencies is it's all the people who get in, their money is dispersed out into these over 2,000 different cryptocurrencies instead of all of the money going into the top ones that are going to definitely be successful. You know, people like to gamble. They like to have that risk or that chance to make double their money or 10x their money in a week, and you got $10,000 to invest and maybe you only have $500 in Bitcoin. I made that, not that it was a mistake because Bitcoin was down and everything was down when I was doing that, but I kind of, in my opinion, it's like, why am I doing this? And as of late, the last few months, I really just started concentrating on putting my money into just the ones I don't really consider altcoins, your Bitcoin, your Litecoin, Ethereum. I don't own, all the top ones, but those are the three main ones that I own simply because they're going to 10x. It may take a little longer than some random altcoin that you guess right, but for every one you guess right, you're going to guess 15 wrong and you're not going to make any money. You're going to lose your money. Why, when you've got a guaranteed winning lottery ticket in your hand, um, and you may have to wait an extra year to cash it in or 6 months, I'm fine with that as long as I know it's guaranteed rather than having a fishbowl full of lottery tickets and you can pick one out and it may be the one that makes you win tomorrow or it may win nothing. We got a whole, it's just like playing the lottery still. It's, of course, it's a smaller bowl, but it's still not good odds of winning when you've got a guaranteed winner in your hand when you buy the top coins. So yeah, I mean that's true. People, and then you got all these institutions and OGs and whales just going in. All they're doing is boom, stacking in on Bitcoin, stacking in Litecoin, stacking in Ethereum. That's all they buy. They don't bother with these shit coins. If they do, they may pump one for a day. That's why you see these altcoins go up, and you're like, yeah, my altcoin just pumped up 30% today, and then a day or two later, right back down to where it was, or even lower. I think they do that intentionally to try to get people excited to keep you in the altcoins and not in the top coins. To me, it's just a distraction. You know, it's a false promise. You know what I mean? Again, you got your good and your evil. They're trying to tempt you. It's a temptation to go with something that's not anything for the hope of the riches, rather than going with the good, which is good and is solid and is always going to be there. I can almost relate anything to good and evil. It's crazy, but that's just the way I think nowadays. So yeah, so since we're talking about that, let's talk about the manipulation. I don't know if I covered it in my last video. I've made a few videos on my phone. I couldn't upload them. Um, I can't remember if I covered it or not. So I'm just going to go over it briefly since it's already a few days old. It's kind of old news, but you saw your Bitcoin drop. And they say that could have been a fat finger typo where the person sold was 5,000 was it 5,000 Bitcoin for like $500 lower than market value. Come on, whales don't do that. That was intentional. Anyone who thinks that that was a mistake is kidding themselves. That was intentional, and that will continue to go on. But I don't think it's going to happen for a while because they did it this time. And the reason they did it was either only two reasons. One is to short grayscale on the New York on the Nasdaq and short the stock of Bitcoin and make some money that way. But then they risk selling their actual Bitcoin, which is the stuff that's actually going to be worth money. Grayscale is fine and all, but it's not Bitcoin, you know. Um, so it dropped it for a day or two, but I don't think it dropped as much as they were hoping. I think they were hoping it would start like one of these cascading, where they have those uh, wine glasses or the champagne glasses, and they pour the one on the top, and then the guy hits the top one, and the whole thing comes crumbling down. I think they were hoping for something like that, more like that to happen. For all the new money they thought maybe got into cryptos and into Bitcoin and everything, so they can shake out those people, get them nervous. Like, oh no, here it is again. Oh, I'm gonna lose all my money again. Let me sell. Let me sell. Let me sell. Panic sell. And it didn't really happen. It didn't really go much lower than where they made their dump at. It went a little lower, maybe a couple $100, but not much, and that was it. So it wasn't really beneficial for them. If they scooped up a few extra Bitcoin, but they looks like I froze here. Okay, so maybe they scooped up a few extra Bitcoin, but was it really worth it for them to risk uh, 5,000 Bitcoin that us consumers could have went in and grabbed right up? Which I think they were afraid of happening. And then, as you'll see, the market went almost straight back up because they didn't want to leave their Bitcoin out there for too long. So they decided, hey, we better go buy it back because now the consumers are starting to buy it because Bitcoin's starting to edge up ever slowly. We weren't able to scare them out. And I think that is why we're not going to see them attempt that again for a while until we see a bunch of new money come in again. But this, in my opinion, is making a good base at that 7,300, uh, right around that 7,300 where it went down to where they sold and they tried to scare everybody out. And that's about where it bottomed out, or it could have been a little lower, but right around there. I think that's a strong support because the people who are in at that level are not selling. They're hodlers. And hodlers are holding on for dear life until they're broke or millionaires. And I don't think Bitcoin's going away. So I think it's the second, millionaires. So I don't think that we're going to see him playing that kind of game too much until Bitcoin goes up, maybe up to 20,000. Then maybe they'll try to shake out some weak hands again and try to do another big drop and see if they can do that cascade. But that's my take on that. That was no fat finger trade mistake. That was intentional. Um, let's see here. Hit that like. Yeah, hit those likes, guys. I don't get paid to make these videos, but maybe one day I will if I get enough subscribers. So please like, subscribe, share. Um, but no, I wasn't scared because Litecoin is doing just fine. Being more into Litecoin, I picked up 0.10 Bitcoin yesterday. LTC Pros, yeah. I mean, I am going to continue to pick up Bitcoin, although I did go more into Litecoin. Like I said, I'm going to continue to kind of trade now my purchases in and out. If I do decide to sell the few altcoins I have left, I may um, I may do that. I may just sell the three other altcoins I have and just go all in Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum. I mean, I may. Yeah. I did buy one altcoin that I'll tell you guys about real quick here. Um, it's not anything I plan on holding for more than a month or so, but I've given these coins before, and I've been pretty good with my hello. My screen went black again, huh? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. Here we go. Okay, but it's EVX. Let me look it up real quick here. EVX Everx. It's right around 70 cents. I got in at it's at 69. 9559. So about 70 cents. Um, guys, I don't know what's up with my computer here. Can you guys still hear me? Well, I may have to make this shorter than I even thought, but it's right around 70 cents. They're going to have some good news coming out in about 40 days. Usually coins start pumping in about 10 days. It should start to pump, I figure. And then once it pumps after about 25, 30 days, once I kind of feel I've got enough out of it, I plan on selling it. So here we go, freezing up again, guys. I don't know if it's too hot out here for my computer. Let me take it off my lap. I am outside, and it's a pretty warm day, even though I'm in the sun, in the shade, excuse me. Um, Let's see what else we have in here in the comments. Selling all the alts is smart. Turn you to yeah, turn me into a Bitcoin maximalist. Yeah, no, there's Bitcoin's going to be Bitcoin. Well, I might as well give my predictions now, right? Let me just read through these comments first. SEC seems to be more positive on crypto. Yeah, yeah. I think when we see these moves up, 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 these big moves, it's just a sign that the institutions are getting ready to go live. Controlling the negative narrative. Yeah, they are. Let's see. Hey, everyone watching Bitcoin, Litecoin. Yeah, okay. I read all these. 99% of Chinese projects are scams. Go watch a movie. China Hustle. Yeah, China. It's hard to trust anything that comes out of China between their products, which are usually made very cheaply. Um, their milk tainted with, poisonous stuff. Litecoin has a golf tournament. Is that what's going on, Rosie? I don't know. See, now I can't even scroll. My computer is frozen again. So what I'm going to do is once I see that I'm still recording here, okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it short here, guys. It is at 26 minutes. I'll go ahead and give my predictions. All right. So my first, let me do my Bitcoin prediction. And I'm frozen again. I don't know. Well, if you can hear me, I'm just going to say it out. I think here, I think if backed gets accepted closer to 100,000, maybe little bit higher, but I think about 100. Um, I think Litecoin by the end of the year will be about 600, and I think if like back to one of those get accepted, it'll be around 1,000, around 1,000. So Bitcoin 60 or 100, depending on if backed infidelity and these things get accepted. Litecoin 600 or 1,000, depending again if backed infidelity and all those or ETF or something like that goes through, which is going to bring in a lot more business. Okay, we don't need those, of course, to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and Litecoin are all just doing fine, but yeah, until we see one of those big ETFs, that's really going to drive it. But that's still huge gains, no matter how you slice it. Um, yeah, so like I said, I did get into one of those altcoins. Again, not a lot. At 70 cents, I put 700 bucks in it so I can have 1,000 shares, hoping that it would go up a dollar or two, and that way, if I can make a couple $1,000s and throw it into the other cryptos, I'll be happy. But guys, thanks for tuning in here on Sunday. Remember, uh, kiss your wife, kiss your girlfriend, hug your kids, pet your pets. God bless each and every one of you. Joe Knows Cryptos signing off. Sorry for the computer difficulties, guys. Did that even end the stream? I might not even be able to log out. Oh, here we go. Wait. Oh, gosh. Here we go. Goodbye, guys.